Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast, first podcast of 2024. Welcome. Come on in the room so we can chop it up. See a couple people already in the room. Come on in the room. What you guys been doing so far for the new year? Let's chat. Let's talk. Good evening. Good Wednesday evening. No, what is this? Oh, this is Thursday. Good Thursday evening to everyone out there in Facebook land. Welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast. So, we do thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us here this evening. Thank you so very much to all of our supporters who support us and watch us all the time. Call into the show. Thank you very much. I don't know what's been going on with our intro music. For some reason, it's just not going through, but I am sure we are going to get that straightened out sooner or later. We usually come on with some intro music. I could hear it in my headset, but for some reason, it's just not going through our broadcaster. So, like I said, we want to welcome everybody to the Adams Brothers Podcast. Good evening. Let me go get my glass. I'll be right back. Good evening. What's up, y'all? Come on in the room. What are you sipping on this evening? Huh? Happy New Year. Still waiting on a few people to come on in the room. Got some topics we're going to be touching on. We're going to try and get out of here about 7 o'clock. We would like for you all to go over to our good friend, Mr. Tony Get Sensational Sands. He's going to be broadcasting live on his Tony Sands show at 7 p.m. He's going to have former NFL cornerback Benny Blades on his show this evening. Benny Blades is from the Fort Lauderdale area, and he used to play for the Detroit Lions. So Tony Sands is going to have Benny Blades on his show this evening. We would like for you all to go over and not only support the Adams Brothers, but go over and support Tony, and because he's always supporting us. We got a few topics we're going to talk about this evening. So as soon as my co-host takes his seat over here, we'll get started. In the meantime, it survived 2024. Happy New Year. And I did say that we were going to call it a vibe, didn't I? What's up? What's up, everybody? Who's in the room? Say hello to me. Put some stars up. Say hello to me. Let me know who you are in the room. I can't see you right now. I see 3 or 4 people here so far. Don't be shy. Say hello to us. We don't bite. All right. So I'll go ahead and lower this intro music in my ear. And we'll get it straightened out sooner or later. You know, like I say, we usually come on with our intro music, and something is going wrong somewhere. It's something minor. We just have to, you know, trace it back and find out exactly why our music isn't going through our unit here. But needless to say, I should say, um, we're here, and this is the first podcast of 2024, and we're going to be talking about a few things here. So, again, we hope you all had a wonderful new year. This is a new year, 2024. I hope you all are off to a wonderful, wonderful start to the new year. And we here at the Adams Brothers Podcast hope and wish and pray that you all have a happy, healthy 2024 with nothing but blessings that come your way. And I really mean that. We really mean that. So I think we'll just jump right on into on Tuesday night. There was, let me take these headphones off because we're not interviewing right now. On Tuesday night at the City of Deerfield Beach Commission meeting, there was a commission meeting, and they were talking about doing background checks for certain boards.
Three boards.
Three boards?
I think 3 boards.
Do you have the ordinance that was posted the other night while Wayne pulls that up? It was, I think, introduced by Commissioner Todd Drosky. And it was 3 boards that was in particular that they wanted to have background checks on. And that created an uproar within the commission chambers. I wouldn't say uproar. It created some tension, a little tension inside the chambers there, because some of the residents and taxpayers there didn't think that they should target 3 boards and not all of them.
And let me just read real quick, because I don't even know if it was 3 boards. So I know if we say something wrong, you know, certain people will be trying to correct us. But
so read it. Read the ordinance.
The ordinance says the ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Deerfield Beach, Florida, amending Article 2, Boards, Committees, Commissions of Chapter 2, Administration of the City Code of Ordinance to create Section 2 through 26 criminal history background checks. And it says for certain advisory boards and committees providing for codification, severability, conflicts, and effective date. And it says on here, commission to vote on ordinance and set public hearing for January 23rd, 2024. Actually, the ordinance was actually tabled, or not tabled, but it was just put on hold until they satisfy. I guess they want to look at trying to include other boards like planning and zoning. But yeah, that was it. I'll let Daryl continue on.
Well, they were like he was saying that was the ordinance that Wayne just read. And people started coming up to the microphone. Sandra Jackson was one of them, and she was talking about, hey, Tony, we're going to get off early, man, so we can come over and watch you on your podcast around 7, okay? But like I was saying, we were Sandra Jackson got up and she spoke and about her not, her feelings towards them just talking about the 3 boards or wanting to place background checks on those 3 boards and not all of them. And she said what she had to say, and she sat down. And next up was Patricia Saunders. And Patricia Saunders, read off her address and everything, and she had just started to talk, and it got a little heated inside of chambers, and I hadn't seen nothing like that since years back, man. The Deerfield Commission chambers back years ago, it was like a circus, but it got a little heated. Why don't I just play some of what this is Patricia Saunders talking, speaking at the commission meeting on Tuesday, January the 9th. So this is Patricia Saunders, and she was escorted out by the Broward Sheriff's Office. The Mayor Gantz wanted her to stop talking, and apparently she kept talking, and she was escorted out by the Broward Sheriff's Office. And we'll let you hear what she had to say and everything, and then the audio, and then we'll come back.
The entire commissioner. Question was, when you made this first decision, was this first decision based on the 3 boards, or was this first decision based off of 1 board? When you initially.
This is what you have in front of you. This is exactly what was there, ma'am.
But I want him to answer that.
Well, you have to wait.
Okay, you gonna answer that?
Continue,
Okay,
ma'am.
all right. Okay, my thing is, Black Heritage, can you
Address
stand up,
the-
please?
excuse
Can you,
me. No. We're not.
this is
Saunders?
in regards to you guys. I'm addressing this to you guys, okay?
Don't point to a member in the audience.
Okay, can Dan, you stand up, please, for me?
Cannot. We're not going to have people in the audience. Address a question to us.
I'm not addressing a question. I'm giving it, I'm bringing out a point.
Okay. Go
So you
right ahead.
can interrupt me and cut me off, and I can leave.
I can.
Because
I
you're
can
not
keep
letting me
interrupt-
bring the point to
Ma'am?
you.
I can interrupt you if I want. Okay. I'm trying to get you to stay in the lines of what you need to do. If you're making a point, go ahead and make your point.
So if you're cutting me off, how am I gonna make my point?
Cutting you off.
You
right
are
now.
cutting me off. You're not listening to me.
Let me
You
say,
can bam that all you want. You are
Saunders-
cutting me off. You are
Ms. Saunders,
interrupting me.
I'm
I'm
going
here
to
to
continue
make
to
a point
interrupt
to
you
the
because
commission,
I run the meeting.
and you're not letting me do
I'm
it.
trying to set up rules on what you're supposed to do.
The
I
rules.
don't know
I'm
what you're
bringing
going
it
to,
to you.
ma'am, let me
I'm
make this.
bringing it to you.
No, I don't know what you're bringing to me. I don't know what you're up to.
How do you
Yes,
know what I'm bringing to you?
exactly. I cut
You're
you
not
off
listening
before
to
you
me.
start calling people from the public when you're not supposed to. You know what?
I'll bring an example to you. I
Goodbye.
want you to see the example.
I don't know what you're going to do. I'm trying to keep you within the rules, but no,
Very rude. You are very rude.
I'll rather be rude than, I'm okay with being rude. I'm okay with being rude to keep order.
They were going to remove you. Okay. Ms. Saunders, you're disrupting a government function.
Bye.
Ma'am, I'm going to say on the public record,
Trying to
you're
set the
disrupting a
rules,
government function.
Trying to set the rules. Trying to set the rules, Ms. Saunders. Trying to set the rules, Ms. Saunders.
Okay, that was a heated exchange between the mayor Bill Gantz of he's the mayor of the city of Deerfield Beach, and Patricia Saunders. She's a resident here, taxpayer in Deerfield Beach, and as you heard, it didn't go so well for Miss Saunders. She was escorted out, and she was like I said, she was escorted outside, and she was not arrested. She wasn't booked into the jail or anything and taken down in a mugshot taken, but she was cited for disrupting a public function and given a notice to appear in court, and she was released on her own recognizance. And that's according to the Broward Sheriff's Office, District 10 Chief Adam Hofstein, who you heard on the audio. He was present. So I got a statement from him. So that is coming directly from the Broward County Sheriff's Office, from the police chief here in Deerfield Beach. But I don't know what Mrs. Saunders was attempting to say. I don't think she ever got a chance to say what she wanted to say.
I believe she was, I only speculate. I believe she wanted them to stand so she can show who was all on the board. Maybe she was trying to look at a ratio according to race. I don't know. I'm just speculating. what I think, what I saw, because I was watching the meeting live. I was watching it, and I speculate that's what she was trying to do. I'm not for sure. Like I say, I wasn't there. I was just watching it from home.
Well,
So,
you was watching it online, so I mean, it's
Right.
just like you were there.
yeah.
But Miss Saunders never got a chance to, say exactly what she wanted to say, and she was trying to attempt to have some members of the public that was in the audience stand up, and I don't think that the mayor was going to allow her to do that.
He said according to the rules.
Right.
So I don't
According
know
to the
what the
rules, I
rules
don't know
are.
what the proper protocol is
Yeah.
for public meetings. I'd have to certainly go back and look because I don't want to, go on the record and say that, but I do remember some other people in the past, they would ask members of their organization or whatever, they would say, could you all stand up, and everybody
Recognize them.
recognize them.
Yes.
So I think that's what Miss Saunders was trying to do. I don't know.
And
So,
I think listening to the audio, listening to the mayor, what he said, I
Right.
mean, he said that he didn't know what the guy Dan Hertz was gonna say.
right. And
I don't know if they were gonna say anything. Like I say, I wasn't there.
Right.
I'm at home listening, so I'm not trying to pick no side, but I'm just going by, just like you say, I was at home watching, so I'm just going by what I saw.
Right. There's proper protocol that you have to follow when you address the members of the commission, the mayor and the commission. So we understand that. So again, Miss Saunders was escorted out, and she was given a notice to appear in court.
We would love to
and
have
release.
Ms.
And
Saunders
if she's
call
out
in.
there watching, anybody knows Patricia Saunders, if
Have a call in.
she wants to call in, the number to call in to the show, the Adams Brothers podcast, is 954-480-3209. 954-480-3209. If Patricia Saunders is out there, if she wants to call in and give her side of the story, we'd like to hear what she had to say. I don't think she got a chance to say what she had to say because she was escorted out. She was definitely escorted out by the Broward County Sheriff's Office. So if Ms. Saunders wants to call in, anybody out there knows how to reach her, we'll
We would love to
definitely
hear her side.
put her on the air and let her tell her side of the story.
And if someone from the city wants to call in,
Yeah.
that's watching,
If-
they're welcome to call in too.
If Mayor Gantz wants to call in, he's welcome. He knows, we have that rapport with him that, if he wants to call, he's more than welcome,
We want to give everyone a fair chance, so it's
So,
not, no one says that it's one-sided, but
Right.
it was to start the new year off looking at that the other night. I can truly say I was taken aback, and I was kind of embarrassed by what I saw the other night. And that's just my opinion. I was from this city that I grew up in and been here, and my family has been here over 100 years, since 1913.
1913.
I feel like I have an opinion, and I don't care who don't like it, but what I saw was embarrassing, and I would hope that's not indicative of what is to come this year. I hope we can have decorum there, and I hope everyone, the audience and the commissioners, can just lower the temperature. I mean, we all
Escalate, do a little de-escalation and come back down and start over. I don't think anybody should be scolded up there when you're speaking, when someone is speaking, and I don't think she was scolded, but I'm just saying that, I guess some people feel like they're being scolded. Sometimes at least that's what I've been told by some members of the public. So I think we can all do better. The public, and as far as following proper protocol for speaking in front of the commission. And
it was the also, I mean, we have to touch on this too. We have to be fully transparent. I mean, it was brought up by members in the audience. I mean, we had one white man spoke, Dan Hertz. He spoke. and the rest of the people were Black. And Commissioner Ben Preston made, he
Some
said-
interesting points. He
made
did.
interesting points about most of the people that stood up and spoke, because it was a racial aspect that was brought into it, that the boards were targeted by a lot of people that were African American or Black. I'm gonna say Black. I don't like that word African American, Black. And that was what was raised, that the appearance looked like they were targeting the boards because it was mostly Black. I don't know who on any of those boards. I know a few people that's on the like the MLK and Juneteenth. I know people that's on there. I mean, I don't know the racial makeup. I don't, but I just know that it was charges of racism made by Miss Diane Chisholm, Miss Sandra Jackson, Miss May Fagan, you go back and decide for yourself what you saw on the video that night. Looking at it, I'm still trying to figure out. I understand the background checks. I understand why the city wants the background checks, but I understand also what the residents are saying, that those background checks should be for everyone. And I know the mayor said that he didn't want to spend a lot of money on every board. My opinion is the right way to do it is you do background checks on anyone that want to serve on any board. And I don't think you should just pick and choose. And I understand there's a cost to that, but doing something like that kind of walk you right into a minefield by doing something like that. I think if they would have just came and said it's for all boards, I don't think no one would have probably raised an eyebrow. People would have probably came and said, ask why. They have the right, ask taxpayers to question why.
Right.
And also, I want to make an interesting point. I had a few people call me this morning, and not just this morning. I had a few people call me yesterday, and it kind of like, and they were all Black. So I'm gonna be straight up specific, because when it comes to race, whoever likes it, and whoever don't, it is what it is. But I can say this. One of the calls that I got was from a very well-respected person throughout Broward County that watched that video, and they have watched other videos of, or watched the meeting to where the background checks were instituted. And this prominent person told me that it seems like, and I'm quoting exactly what they said. So if someone wants to take an issue, y'all know my number, anyone, because I'm telling you, this is what the prominent person said. And I quote just what they said. They said, it seems like these white folks know background checks are an emotional issue to the residents of Deerfield Beach. And it seems like those background checks are used to bring out the emotions of the Black community of Deerfield Beach. When they told me that, I thought about it. I'm like, every time the background checks were brought up, it did trigger a emotion. But that person told me, that prominent person through Broward County, who's very prominent, not a Deerfield resident, but they told me that it seems like the white commissioners are using that to bring out the raw emotions of the Black citizens of Deerfield. And I hope that's not true. I would hope that's not true. I would hope that their intent is they say their intent is for kids, to protect kids.
And we understand that.
And I understand that, just like my brother said, but I would hope that commissioners are not trying to trigger the emotions of the Black community with these background checks. And that's just my opinion. And if anybody got a problem with it, y'all know, everybody up there on that commission know how to reach me. I'm telling you what was brought to my attention.
And Joanne Smith Duncan said it should be all boards, not pick and choose which ones. And I think that's what most people were saying at the commission meeting the other night. If you're gonna just pick out 1, 2, or 3 boards, make it all boards.
Yeah.
And I think that's the pretty much the consensus what people were saying, even the ones that called in.
That's right.
If you're gonna make it any boards, make it all boards, and that's the fair way to do it. You don't go and pick out this one and this one and this one and say, oh, forget about the rest. You do it across the board. Make it uniform across the board. If you're gonna do background checks, make it for everybody, and that's the fair way to do it. And it's no matter what you say, it's that is the fair way to do it. Okay, you can say what you want. It's the fair way to do it. And there's always a happy middle somewhere where you can meet and say, okay, well, we can agree to that. So if you're gonna do it for everyone.
And
okay,
Dan
all
Hertz,
boards.
And Dan Hertz said, why would Commissioner Drosky try to exempt himself and his colleagues from the background check ordinance? The optics are awful. Now, optics did not look good according to me, and I've been here all my life. And I just say this: the optics did not look good, and I know, the charges of racism were leveled, and the prominent person also told me that when those charges were leveled, that he saw certain commissioners squirming in their seats. And I would hope not. I would hope that's not the intent. I would hope that it is to protect the kids, and also every board. If you're gonna do background checks, I have no problem doing background checks on everyone running for office. If that's what you're gonna do it for everyone running for office, and also do it, when it comes to that, the voters have to speak on regardless of if you do a background check on a candidate running for office, the voters gonna have to decide that. I don't know, maybe someone know the Florida law. I thought the Florida law was that if you are a convicted felon, you can't run for office. That's what I thought. But if someone
That's only for the president can run for
right, the president can. I'm
he
saying
can-
for the state of Florida. I thought if you were a convicted felon, you couldn't run for office.
Right.
So I don't know what
You can lead an insurrection, and you can't be on boards here in Deerfield and other states, and but you can run for president with 90 plus felonies, and and that. Come on.
And I don't have a
wrong with that
problem.
picture.
I don't have a problem with everyone doing a background check, a level background check. I'm quite sure people out there gonna do background checks on me and my brother.
Oh.
Neither one of us been to jail. No one in my family has been to jail. So
find anything.
So go at it. If people want to try to pull up something, I have never been to jail, never been arrested, never been in the back of a police car. I had the police pull me out of a car and put a gun to my head and play like they had the wrong car. Yeah, I had all of that done, but I have never been to jail, neither have my brother. So when I come up there, I don't have to worry about walking away from the podium and maybe a week later someone come back and say, well, I was arrested. No, you're not going to find that.
We come from a good, squeaky clean family. They can do whatever background checks they want on us, and have at it, good luck. But, I like to play a little bit of what Commissioner Preston had to say also. This is his rebuttal to what was said there the other night. And this was after Patricia Saunders was escorted out by the Broward County Sheriff's Office. So this is Commissioner Preston, the City Commissioner in District 2 in Deerfield Beach.
Please be reminded that the state of Florida said that commissioners, elected officials don't have to do it, but they also said the same thing about other boards. The state of Florida has nothing in place. This would be precedent. And I'm also a little disappointed I know there are people sitting in this audience that have an opinion about this, but chose not to get to that mic and say, you know what, I'm for this, I'm against this. For the exception of Dan Hers, everybody else that got up and talked was Black. That in itself starts to skew the argument. But then you're going to get on the outside out there in the middle of the parking lot, and you're going to talk and you're going to tell your opinion when you should be telling it here. Dan Hurd had the courage to get up and say what he said. And yet other people are sitting down silent now instead of saying, you know what, I agree with it. Do the background check. I disagree with it, or here's why I disagree with it. But you let it, you know, we talk about this race thing. We let it become racist because we're afraid to take a position. You're afraid to take a position. But you'll talk about it on the phone with your friend. You'll talk about it in the parking lot, but you don't have the courage to come up here and talk about it. The fact of the matter is, the state of Florida said, who deals with more boards than anybody in the city of Deerfield does, said you don't need to do that. So this will be precedented that we're saying, yeah, we do. So I just think that this could be different. I think it could be different. And we talk about people getting involved. This is an example right now because nobody wanted to touch it. Only a few people had the courage to say, I got an opinion about this. Everybody just sat quiet. If you're passionate, you have an opinion, you should talk about it. That's how we in this country get so skewed one way. Like I said, for the exception of Dan Hurd, everybody else that got up there and talked was Black. That's not right. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. We need to be able to bring this thing together with all of us, you know, thinking about things, even if we disagree. That's what makes this country what it is. We don't have to agree. We can make it better. The whole idea is getting people to be involved so we can be stronger, so that we can be better. And when we sit still, that's when nothing gets done, or at least things start to fall apart. The fact of the matter is, I don't really believe that this is the best thing for the city, but it'll be what it is when the voting is done.
Thank you, Commissioner.
And it's
Okay.
gonna pass. I mean, you know, they're gonna tweak it, but it's gonna pass. I try to, you know, when it comes to background checks, it seems like all the commissioners up there are unified in the background checks. So, I mean, you can have people speak up in our community. I think I think it's going to deaf ears. I mean, we saw that from with the Packer Rattlers. So I don't think the background checks, if you're gonna put background checks in place, put
Yeah,
backgrounds
do it
in
for
place
everybody.
for everyone,
Every board.
and every board. If you don't do that, it's gonna be the racial aspect of favoritism and cronyism is always gonna be leveled. And I think if you're gonna do it, then I mean, if you're gonna background check everyone, then you're gonna have to put that cost in there for everyone that's serving on the board. That's gonna be the only fair way that I think it's gonna be done, where people are gonna be able to look at it and be satisfied. If it's done if it's done for a few boards, you need to do it for all. I mean, that's the only solution.
That's the only fair
that I
way.
see.
That's the little happy middle that you can meet at. You know, do it for all boards, and don't just single out the 3 boards that was brought up. Please,
If
you
it
know,
was 3, we don't know. So we
it
don't
may
want no
be
one trying to
1, 2.
correct
We
us.
might be a board or 2 off, but whatever the boards are, do it for all.
Do it for all the
Okay,
boards.
don't just single out certain ones. Okay, that's the only fair way to do it. If you want to do it, please do it for all boards. And those are our opinions, you know, as well as what we heard from the public. And also, I mean, right after when that meeting was going on, I was out doing something else, some personal things, and I didn't get a chance to watch it. But we were getting calls that they said one of the commissioners had a smirk on his face and was smiling or laughing. I don't know. I have to go back and look at it. But
Yeah, the person told me say it was Commissioner Hudak. I mean, I would have to look at it, but
really?
they were saying Commissioner Hudak had a smirk on his face.
Oh.
I mean, look, a person got taken out of there the other night. That's not a good look for our city. I thought that, and I have hope for our city. I think our city is a great place, and I don't think it should never come down to where someone should have to be taken out by force or just taken out of there unless they're up there doing something threatening or just breaking the rules. Hopefully they would leave the podium peacefully. This is not a good look
Right.
for our city. The
Right.
optics were very, very bad the other night. And like Commissioner Preston said, I would hope everyone across this city, black, white, or whoever, would speak up on that, not just black people speaking up all the time. We had Dan Hertz, and I thank Dan Hertz for speaking up. And I remember, I think Ms. Freitag, she came on and she said she expanded it to do it for the planning and zoning boards. Any board in this city can be corrupted.
Right.
Can be corrupted. Trust me, any board, especially, I mean, for me, I don't know why that planning and zoning board, that should have been the main board that should have had background checks. I remember a long time ago, we had a guy serving in the building department. You remember that guy's name?
Yes, I remember his name.
What was his name?
Sanello.
Jim Sanello. Jim Sanello had been, I mean, I think his record or whatever, go back, just Google Jim Sanello. Well, he was running the Deerfield Beach building department, and he had been allegedly accused of trying to have someone
Allegedly. Yeah,
killed.
allegedly.
And Elgin Jones did a story on it. Bob Norman did a story on it. I think at the time, Deerfield Beach USA, Jeff Sales did an article on it. So, I mean, but this was a guy running the building department that had been accused of trying to hire someone to be killed. So, hey, and I remember what's about Sanello was back then, I was having issues working there at the city, and I was in the union. I was one of the union stewards, and I remember I was fighting for employee rights at that time. And Jim Sanello tried to come at me. He went over, I'll never forget, he went over to then city manager Mike Mahaney's office and told him well, what about Wayne Adams? And, well, you go pull my record up right now. They suspended me one day because I was fighting for the rights of the workers out there. So, and I took it to arbitration and got my day back. They tried to say, talking about a threat. They knew it wasn't no damn threat. That's just their way of trying to silence me at that time, but it didn't work because look at me right now. I'm still talking. Was able to retire from there. But Jim Sanello actually went to the city manager's office, and it was so funny. The city manager at that time, Mike Mahaney, called me over to his office, and he said, Jim Sanello came over here and he had your file. Went and got a public records request, and he had my file. And it was so funny when he went in there, all my evaluations were exemplary. I mean, anyone that know me out there to that city, I came to work every day. I'll tell you, everybody out there that know me from out there, they took weeks upon weeks from me because I came to work every day. And I came to work and I did my job.
When you say weeks, you mean vacation time.
They took weeks of vacation time away from me.
Because you didn't take off.
Because I didn't take off
within a certain time.
Right. I didn't take off in a certain time, but it was so funny that Sanello bought my record in there and nothing in there. And Mike Mahaney just showed him and say, Wayne have nothing in his record, nothing. So what are you coming over here complaining about? But he was trying to say that at the time, Elgin Jones, which was a black reporter, wrote an unfavorable story towards him. Also, Bob Norman, a white reporter, wrote an unfavorable story. So he tried to come over there and interject race to the city manager, trying to say that because I was black, I was getting favorable treatment. But no, my record right now speaks for itself there at that city. It speaks. I got exemplary. I came to work every day. They gave me plaques every year. So, you know, that's why I say I welcome it. If they want to do, like Sandra Jackson said, if you all want to do a level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 background check on me, do it. I mean, you're not going to find anything. So what I'm saying, again, if the city want to do level 8 background checks, just do it uniformly across the board for everyone.
And that's the only fair way.
I have no problem
To
with
do it,
background checks.
okay?
So
So-
let me say that right now.
Right. So, and we hope we could just squash this and move on. It wasn't a good look last
No.
night, looking from the public's view. It
wasn't at all.
It wasn't a good look, and that's all we're
And
gonna
I
say.
hope
And
we can move past this.
we're gonna move past
I
this.
don't think no commissioner should
Right.
exempt themselves from the background check ordinance, Mr. Hertz. That's just my opinion. If you're gonna do it, start at the top and go to the bottom and do it for every board. And I think if that's done,
Read what Mr. Hertz said.
We can
what
do
did
it.
He say I can't see it.
it
all.
said, why would Commissioner Drosky? Oh, okay, okay.
No, not
It's-
that one.
okay, it says, it's not too early to start talking about elections 14 months from now. Unfortunately, the leading candidate for Mayor, Todd Drosky, is a Mayor Gantz clone in a better fitting suit. If the taxpayers can band together and form new coalitions, it will be possible to counteract the votes that the political machine in Deerfield Beach will churn out for Drosky. I
And-
say this,
and-
everyone needs to go and vote come
and
March.
that's from Dan Hertz.
And that's from Dan
he
Hertz.
he was at the commission meeting the other night, I believe.
And he's a very active activist in
Right.
this city.
Dan Hertz. I'm sure everybody that goes to the commission meeting knows Mr. Hertz.
I never met him, never talked to him before,
Right.
so I don't know anything about Mr. Hertz. I know he's an
He's active in the
activist here.
community. So.
He's active here, and that's good. And I would hope more Black people would become more active. I mean, I saw a lot of Black people at the meeting. I mean, most of the time you see
Sandra
Miss-
Jackson,
right.
Saunders, Janet,
Fullmore, Tigner,
Fullmore, and her sister,
sister.
and the
Miss Bracy, Miss
Miss
Tigner Bracy.
Miss Bracy,
We
yes.
see her there. We see a lot of other
Miss
Blacks.
Clark Reed, former commissioner Gwen
She
Clark
spoke
Reed. She
up last
called
night.
in,
She
right?
spoke
So
on the background check
Like,
last night.
I think it should be uniform. We're gonna move on past this. And we think it should be uniform. Please, I know the commissioners, they watch, and the mayor, they watch out.
Oh, they're gonna go back and watch, but
And they'll probably
Yeah.
watch the playback. But please, we want everything to go smoothly. If you are going to do background checks, commissioners and mayor, do it for all the boards and not just some.
and we want peace here in this city, not looking like other cities or other places across
Right.
the country where you see people arguing and screaming at each other. We're in a new
Right.
year, 2024. I
Right.
think we all adults, and I think we all should act like adults. And
Right.
and hey, I done spoke up on the meeting one night, and I was emotional, and I cursed. And I make no apologies for what I said, because I'm passionate about my city, and that's just it. I make no apologies about that, because I've been here all my life and I love this place and I want to see this place do better. And if I just want to see everyone do better here.
Let's acknowledge some of our viewers. Hello, Reverend Gene Townsend, Joanne Duncan Smith, Tony Get Sensational Sands. We're going to be joining you here on your podcast here around 7 or a little after. Pamela Graham, Angela Divinity, Celestine Barnwell, Thomas Jackson, Janet Mann Garner, Dan Hertz, Albert, Annette Adams, Albert C. Brown, Derek Wiggins, Renee Williams, Skinny Johnson, and Stephanie Knowles, and Sabrina McLemore Clark. Hello, Sabrina.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. And thank you all for tuning in to the Adams Brothers podcast. And we always try to bring you
And I want to say
some
something
accurate
else,
news.
too.
But go ahead.
Yeah. Also, I'm quite sure everyone received letters in their utility bills, just letting them know that the city is going to be installing the new
Smart meters.
So just know people are going to be in the area for the next year. I think it said it's going to take about 12 months. So city workers or workers, I don't know if they're going to be city workers. I know workers going to be installing these smart meters. And it also said they're going to be like letting you know ahead of time that the smart meters will be installed. So just look out for that. Just if you're not sure, just ask for some type of identification. And if you're not sure, don't even open your door at all. So just be smart. I just wanted to let you know about that one thing.
And then
here that's
also the
going on in
garbage
city.
containers. They're going to be passing out new garbage containers. They're gonna deliver you everyone a new garbage container.
The big one,
The big one, the real
28 ounce or something.
90, I think it's 95 or something
Yeah.
like that. And you're not allowed to use those containers right away. Once you get them, the city's gonna let you know when you can start using them. So once you get them, you continue to use your old one. And once they have handed out all the containers, they're gonna come back by and pick up the old ones.
That's good information.
And then once they pick up the old ones, then and only then can you start using the new ones. But we know there'll be some people that'll be misinformed somehow, and they don't know because they're not on the internet or they're not smartphone savvy. But that's why we're here. If you watch our podcast, we'll tell you, they're gonna deliver you a new one, and then you take that and you put it in your backyard on the side of your house or wherever you keep your containers, and you continue to use your old ones. And once you keep putting that out, they will eventually come and take that old container away from you, and you'll see it. It'll be gone, and that'll let you know right then that once they take it,
Yes.
that it's time for you to start using your new one. So pretty much when you put it out there, and if you see it gone, start using your new one. That's the best advice that I could give you all. And
so everybody, again, stay involved. What's going on in your community? Just stay involved. Find out what's going on. Vote. Register to vote. This is an important election year.
Yes,
You're
it
gonna
is.
see. You're going to have the sheriff running, the state attorney of Broward County. You're going to have
Public
candidates
defender
running all across this country.
Right.
People need to stay involved and just
we're going to
stay
help you.
involved.
We will help you.
We will have a lot of people on here.
We're going to have
running for
a lot
office.
of politicians and elected officials coming up on our podcast. We're setting that up right now. I mean,
Yes.
some of them have been on here years ago. And this is going to be a good spicy year. We're going to keep you informed. We promise you. Not misinformed, but we will keep you informed.
Right. We're going to keep you informed. And like I say again, just stay involved, man. We need more people. We need more boots on the ground here. And that was what that prominent person told me this morning here, that's prominent here. And they told me I can use their name, but I'm not going to use their name. I'm not.
No, you don't disclose your sources.
I'm not going to do it, but I think that person said that the Black community here in Deerfield, and I ain't trying to make it about no race, but the Black community needs to get together and vote. Not just be careful of these political pimps running around Deerfield Beach that has their own agenda. That's going to be trying to get you to think you're doing one thing, but doing another. So just be cognizant of everything.
That'll never happen again while we're here. Never, ever. Those political pimps that paraded these politicians through this city and through this county, and all for the sake of money, they're mercenaries. They work for the highest bidder.
Yeah.
And every city has one.
Every city,
and
they have about 4 or 5.
Right, they parade these candidates through these cities, and bring them to your church, and they eat your fried chicken and your collard greens, and they sing a church song or a hymn, and then you never see them again.
You never see them
once
again.
they get your vote, they're gone.
And then you try to call them while they're in office. They don't answer
right.
the phone.
They let the voicemail fill up with voicemail, so you can't leave a message or call them, and that's typical in government. They teach you that. They tell you that. They don't teach you, but they tell you to let your voicemails fill up, and they won't be able to call you or leave a message on your voicemail.
Yes, Albert Brown, they are political pimps.
Yeah,
that's what they are. They are nothing more than political pimps, and we have them running all around the state of Florida and every other state in the union, and they're very detrimental to the Black community, because it's like you bring someone over here and we never see them again. This is why people are so turned off about politics. That's why people don't like to get involved. That's why people don't want to get engaged. And I think the politicians that are in office, I think all across the country, I think they love that, because once they get the people disengaged, then they can do whatever they want to do, because no one's it's like the fox watching the chicken coop. So we need more people to just look around, see what's going on around in this city.
And, you know, they
And
like you
whatever
say,
city you live in,
they-
not just here for
they do it
Deerfield.
for the money. They
We-
do it for the money, and they're getting $2,000-$3,000 a month from these political these campaigns, and they're paying them to set up
Tax.
meetings at churches and all these events and just to bring them up through the community, and they're paying them nice amount of money. All you got to do is it's all public record request, and you'll see how much these politicians are paying these political
Follow the
pimps.
money.
Follow the money.
You follow
It's
the
not
money,
hard. Just follow the money.
and you'll
And if
see.
you try and do that here in Deerfield Beach, we will expose you. I'm telling you right now. So if you think you can get away with it here in Deerfield Beach, don't even try it.
They're going to be bringing judges. They're going to be bringing every political person in power across this county here and across the state. Go to those go to those forums or whatever they have. Take
Political
notes.
forums.
Take notes. Make a informed opinion on who you're gonna vote for. Listen to what they're saying. We had people right here on our podcast, and let me tell you, we had this one person, and we let them spoke, and they did themselves a disservice because they came on and they went to talking all about. Here you got two black men here, and they went to talking all about woke. You know, the two black men woke. So we already know what the word woke means. The word woke means black people. So you're coming on our podcast, you're talking, and the person did themselves right out of office. And everyone told me, just listening to them, that person would have been a total disservice to this county. And sometimes we just let the person rant. We just let them we did not try to stop them. Me and Daryl was just sitting.
No, you let them talk.
We let them talk.
They'll hang themselves. You know,
And
eventually.
the person hung themselves right out of a political office.
So anything else before we move on? Because we want to try and make it out of here before like around 7 so we can join Tony Sands and
Oh, we're gonna expose them.
yeah. What was that?
We're gonna expose them. Joanne Duncan say expose them.
Oh, we will.
Oh, we're gonna
We
expose
promise you, if they try that here in Deerfield Beach, these two brothers right here, the Adams brother, we will expose them. And they can get mad and don't have to talk to us ever again if they know us personally. If they don't know us personally, it doesn't matter. We're not here to make friends. We're here to report the facts. Okay? And keep people informed, the public. That's what we do. We go around. Our phones ring all time of night. You know, when we're with our family, having family functions. We're in the grocery store, in the malls with our loved ones. You know, we get stopped and people talk about this and that, and they call us on our cell phones, and we take all kind of calls, you know, and we hear, you know, the public, from members of the public. And we make notes of these things. You know, we write them down, we record them, that we interview them, and we go back and listen to it. So we're not just on here blowing hot air, you know.
No.
We do our homework before we come on here and start speaking, you know.
Yeah, because those people need to be exposed, man.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
you know, you're putting politicians in office who can set us back a generation. And you know, you always say politics are local. They are. So we need to stay involved here. We need to keep a watch on people at the county. Keep a watch on
all government agencies.
all government state.
government.
We're gonna have all of them on here this year. Trust me. We
will
have them
get-
calling us. They ready, but I think it's too early right now
Right.
because I don't want the people to lose sight of them. We got a time that we'll bring
them on
we're
as many
gonna
times
have-
as they want to come. If they was as
and we're
many
gonna
times.
ask them tough questions. So
Right.
a lot of people don't want to come on our
We
podcast.
ask them tough questions, but they're fair.
They're fair.
And we ask every politician. If you go back and look at our interviews from a few years back, we ask every politician the same question. We were very fair.
Yeah.
Can't nobody say, "Oh, well, you know, he asked me a question,
Or they
so he
Shanghai
didn't, he got me on the interview." No, we don't do that.
We didn't Shanghai or ambush anyone.
Questions that we're going to ask you. You know what I'm saying? We'll give them to you. Okay, we'll give them to you because we're very, very uniform with what we do here. We don't hide from anybody. If you can't come on this podcast and answer tough questions, then stay, don't even call us. Okay. And there might be some random questions, but don't even call us. If you can't answer tough questions, don't reach out to us. There, Dan Hurt says there is so much potential for District 2 and the whole city with the right leadership at the top. Okay, that was from Dan Hertz.
Yes.
And Mr. Hertz, thank you for being involved in your city.
We need more
and
people involved.
We need more people
in our district.
in our district right here too to come up to the meetings, you know, and not just when something major is going to kick off and everything, you know, and you don't necessarily have to go to the meetings. You could watch online. Online is, I mean, watch it on.
I watch online
because it's just like you're there. Some people can't make it there, can't walk, or they're sick or have colds. Just because they're not there, that doesn't mean that they're not watching online. Okay, so you know,
you go back and
attend online, watch it online, watch it on YouTube.
You know, I have people telling me right now to come to the meeting, a little more than they know.
We watch it online.
I was going to the meetings when most people 15, 20 years ago, I'm 57 years old right now. When I was in my 20s and 30s, I was up there to the meeting because I was always trying to learn and just learn. And I was to the meetings way back in those days. So most people now just getting involved. I was up there to the meeting when Miss Clark Reed was there. I was up there to the meeting when Miss Portier was there. I was there. So I feel like now I don't really have to go to the meeting. I mean, and that's just me. I watch from home now. But when I was in my 20s, 30s, and 40s, I was up there to the meeting. Not to every meeting, but I was there. And those people that know me, they remember, they can verify that I was there.
All right.
So,
all right. Let's move on into these other two subjects before we you know, we only say we're gonna be on here till about 7 or so. Another hot topic. We want to move on to celebrity news here. Katt Williams. Man, everybody has been watching Katt Williams around, or if you haven't watched the Katt Williams interview,
he broke the internet.
He just tore the internet up. He tore the internet up on Shannon Sharp, Shay, Uncle Shannon Sharp, and he was talking about the other comedians, and so I watched and I kept hearing about it, so of course I had to go and watch it for myself. And I went and watched it, and it was a long interview. It was like 2 hours and 40 minutes long.
On Club Shay.
You're right. And I sat there and I watched the whole thing. And to me, Katt Williams comes across as a very, very intelligent man. I mean, comedian. He's not just a comedian. He's college educated, and he's very, very intelligent. You know, he puts on his, you know, he promotes his own comedy. He put on his own comedians and stuff, so he don't have sponsors that he has to answer to because he pays them out of his own pocket, you know. So I mean, this guy here, he has done his homework, and he's very, very educated, very articulate, and he likes to smoke his weed and smoke his cigarettes, and he likes to drink. But to me, now this is the only take that I got from it. To me, it seems that he was sort of attacking all the other comedians. You know, he went after Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, Ricky Smiley. Who else did he go after?
Kevin Hart.
He went after some of the big names, and he was saying that they're all in a little clique
on different platforms. A lot of them mentioned his name first, so he was responding back to some of the accusations.
Right. But I mean, this is my opinion. This is just my opinion. And I talked to people on my job, and they were like, well, yeah, they said something about him, and he just responded. But to me, this is my own opinion, and nobody has to agree with me. Okay. This is my Daryl Adams opinion. It seems like he was just taking shots at other comedians, you know, like they aren't smarter than him. And, you know, just putting down other, you know, comedians, you know, and just, you know, like they're not in the same, you know, category as him, you know, and, you know, to me, it was just like he was just taking a lot of shots at other comedians and everything. Yes, he is very talented. Yes, he is very articulate. Yes, he is very funny. Yes, he is. Money Mike. He played Money Mike on Next Friday.
Right, yeah.
He played Money Mike, and he's a very, 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 very funny comedian, man. Yes, he is. He's right up there with Bernie Mac and Robin. What was the guy? Robin Smith, Robin Williams,
Robin Williams, yeah,
Robin-
Harris, Robin
Robin
Harris.
Harris.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
right up there with Robin
The late
Harris,
Robin had the late great Robin
Richard
Harris,
Pryor.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. And there was another one. I can't think of who he was, but yeah, he was right up there with he's right up there with them.
But I'll tell you my take on it.
Go ahead.
My take from what I saw with Katt was that Katt exposed the industry. Katt was exposing how a lot of those people got to the top. My take was Katt was exposing them how they stole a lot of his material.
Yeah.
How they got to the top where they are today. That's my take on what I saw Katt doing. Katt looked at it that he did it the hard way. He didn't have to go and sell his soul to the devil
Right.
to get to the top.
And DeMar Wilson said the same thing. If you in
Yes.
the entertainment world, you have sold your Lamont Sanford from Sanford and Son, Demond. His real name is Grady Demond Wilson, but he goes by Demond Wilson. He said if you are in show business, you have sold your soul to the devil.
And that's why he got out.
And that's why he got out in 1982 when Sanford and Son went off of the air and he was called to the ministry. If you go back, if you haven't watched it, Google the Demond Wilson interview on YouTube and go back and watch it. And he was very candid, and he was like, and I think that's what Katt was saying. He's not going to sell his soul, to be in a movie.
right. That's what he
He's
was
not
saying.
going to do any gay scenes or anything
Put
like
on a
that.
dress.
Put on a dress.
A lot of people were
But-
putting on dresses just to get to the top. He
Right.
was saying.
He took a shot at Tyler Perry. But look at though. Let's go back. Let's go back to way back to Flip Wilson. Flip Wilson started it way back in the 70s.
70s, yes, he did.
And then you had Eddie Murphy with all of those characters, Big Mama. He had Miss Hattie Mae Pierce and
that
Big
was
Mama
Martin
song.
Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence, okay, Miss Hattie Mae
Not Eddie
Pierce, and then
Murphy.
you had Eddie Murphy playing the grandmother and Cletus Clump's mother. And then you had who else? You had Jamie Foxx with Wanda.
Yeah.
You had Martin Lawrence with Shanae
He
Jenkins.
had the Wayans brothers.
the
back in
Wayans brothers.
days.
All of these.
And that's what he was calling out about
he was
putting on
calling them
dresses
out about
and,
dresses, but that's
and
how these
being
people
feminine.
feed their families, though. You know what I'm saying?
But I ain't putting on no dress.
I go,
I'm not doing that. I'm not putting on no dress. I don't care. I'm not.
but it's about making people laugh.
Well,
though, you
it
know what I'm
might be,
saying?
but I'm not putting on a dress for no. I'm not acting like no woman. I'm a man.
And that's your opinion.
That's
your opinion, though.
that's what Katt, I think, more or less.
Right. He was
talking
saying he wasn't going to put on a dress.
Right.
But my thing is don't knock the other people that was doing it, Okay, make your money. It's enough money out there for everyone. Okay, but why knock the other comedians? If they want to put on a dress to feed their families, let them do it.
Well, I don't think they had to put on a dress to feed their families.
They made money off of the movie.
They could have just said, no, I'm not doing this part like Tiny Lister, Debo, like
Yeah.
the late Tiny Lister said that the reason why he didn't appear in any of the other Friday movies because he was asked to do some type of rape scene or put on a dress, and the late Tiny Lister
I wouldn't do that
said
either.
he was not gonna do it. If you go back and
I would
and
refuse.
search the YouTube or the internet, you will see Tiny Lister. I wish I had the clip. I was just watching it the other day, and Tiny Lister said he wasn't gonna do it. And
And
again,
I don't blame him either.
I mean, you gotta have character and you gotta have integrity. And I mean, if that's what people talking about feeding their family, you know what? I'm gonna feed my family, but I'm not also gonna lose my integrity and my character as a man either. I'm not gonna let no one emasculate me either from my manhood. That no amount of money can make me go away from that. And I think that's the point that Katt
Yeah.
and others are making.
But if you look at it, all of us have watched Shanae Jenkins and Martin on, Big Mama House, and we all laugh. Can't nobody in this that you out there watching right now, can't nobody tell me you didn't laugh, okay? You laugh, okay? It was funny. Yes, it was, and it's still funny. I go back and laugh, and it's just, to me, it's just comedy. Comedy is to make people is there to make people laugh. Okay, that doesn't mean that defines who you are, and because you put on a dress to make an audience laugh and the sale to make the ticket sales help the ticket sales go through the roof. That doesn't say that you define who you are as a man. No, that doesn't define. Some people say, hey, if I got to put on a dress to, and I'm going to get paid $10 million to do this movie, I'll do it,
I'll
10 million to 10
I'll
million.
make the 3 without putting.
Everybody got a price. Like the $1 Million Man on WWE used to say, everybody has got a price.
Oh,
So,
I if they got a price,
but I will not do a scene that has anything to do with a gay scene or anything. Nothing against, my gay family, people out there, whatever. That's just something I wouldn't do.
No.
If that's what somebody else wants to do, then more power to you. I'm just saying that's one part of a movie that I would not participate in.
You got kids watching that, and they watch TV, and they want to emulate what they see on TV. So I think
turn on those parental controls.
we need to be, as Black men, we need to be seen as men, as leaders in our community, not walking around. And I have nothing. I know it's all comedy, but I just think if you want to show positive roles for Black men, show them being leaders, show them being with wives on TV, show them having families like they do all the other races, show them in a positive light, not showing them putting on a dress.
But that's why Esther Roll, remember Good Times, they wanted them to keep on
JJ acting like a buffoon,
on Good Times, and they wanted, I think John Amos and Esther Roll wanted them to be more like of a family type,
exactly,
with suits and ties on, but they didn't want that, so they backed out of Good Times, so they eventually took them off of the air. Then you started seeing
they fired
the Jeffersons. You start seeing the Jeffersons come on with a man that's successful,
right,
with the suit on.
And Bill Cosby.
It has seven cleaners, one near you. I believe that's what Sherman
used to say. That
7 cleaners, one near you.
The late Sherman Hemsley.
Sherman Hemsley. So then you start seeing that, and then you start seeing Bill Cosby with the Cosby, and who
that
else
showed
with
a positive Black family that was educated.
Exactly.
Not showing a bunch of Black people on there all the time acting like a bunch of fools and buffoons.
Right.
And that's what we need to see. Yes, it's comedy. I know how to distinguish between the two, but we need to see more positive parts of Black people showing successful Black people.
Right. Exactly. So Katt Williams, again, he blew up the internet, and he's still blowing up the internet. He also did an interview with Willie D from the Ghetto Boys.
Go watch that.
Go watch that too. If you haven't watched the one,
did that 2 days ago.
You just did it, and I think that's going to even be bigger than Shannon Sharp.
I don't think it's going to be bigger than Shannon Sharp.
It's more in detail. He's on there talking. You
gotta watch it. Gotta go watch that on. I'm trying to find it up right now, and I can tell you it's Willie D of the Ghetto Boys.
Right.
But definitely go and watch Katt. He did Willie D's podcast, but definitely go and watch it.
Listen to how articulate this man is and how well spoken he is. Again, he's not just a comedian. He is college educated. He left home when he was 13 years old, and he jumped on a semi truck, and he hopped on a truck and came to Miami. He was living in a park in Coconut Grove.
Yeah.
At the age of 13, and he was working in these restaurants with mopping floors and and cleaning up, and they were feeding him at 5-star restaurants. So he said he slept on a mattress out in a park in Coconut Grove.
And he also said that that was the first time he seen men trying to pick him up in the park. And as a kid, as like a 14, 15-year-old kid, he saw that people were trying to actually pick him up, and that was, you got to hear Katt. Katt has a true story to tell, but go and watch the Katt interview on Club Shay Shannon Sharp. Also go and watch Katt Williams on Willie D of the Ghetto Boys. Just
Yep.
put Willie D, Katt Williams in on YouTube, and
Right.
you will see that come up. Great interviews.
Quick sport. We're gonna try to get out here so we can go catch our friend Tony Sands over there. Nick Saban from the Alabama Crimson Tide. He retired today from the University of Alabama as the head football coach, and also Bill Belichick from the New England Patriots. He has left. He's
fired basically.
Yeah, he was pushed out from the New England Patriots. Pete Carroll was out at Seattle, I believe it was.
Tennessee Titans coach Mike
There's like
Vrabel.
9 vacancies, and hopefully who's the guy from Washington? Bieniemy, Eric Bieniemy.
Bieniemy.
Hopefully Eric Bieniemy, out of those 9 jobs, hopefully that black brother gets him a job somewhere, because he's very deserving of a head coach job in the NFL.
All the black head coaches are in the playoffs this year. You look at DeMeco Ryans with the Houston Texans, he's in. You look at Pittsburgh Steelers. I know Janet Garner gonna like this. He's in the playoffs.
Right.
Mike
Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin. Who else is in the playoffs? It's 4 of them I know that, and they also
The guy from Houston,
DeMeco.
the Devin Singletary's coach out there in
DeMeco
Houston.
Ryan, he's
Right.
in.
Right. I know Sabrina's watching. Good luck to your son this weekend.
Yes, good luck
in
to
the
the Houston Texans.
in the playoffs. Good luck to
The
Devin.
Miami Dolphins too. Good luck to
And
them.
our Miami Dolphins, they will be going up against the Kansas City Chiefs on Saturday at 8:15.
Minus 12 degrees and
Man, it's going to be cold. The last time we played them out there, Ricky Williams was with the Dolphins,
and we won.
and we won.
That's right.
And we're going to win this weekend, too. So all you Dolphin haters out there, Tony Sands and Meldrick Passmore and MC Skeeter D and Dion Benefield, Big Mac, Carol Perry, Pete Doby, all our friends out there that don't like the Miami Dolphins, we're going to win this weekend, okay?
And hopefully they pull it out against the Packers.
And we hope the Cowboys lose, okay? We don't like the Dallas Cowboys over here at the Adamsbrotherspodcast Podcast. We don't care if you don't like it, okay? We don't care if you don't like it. Y'all suck, okay? You all suck with a capital S. S-U-C-K suck, okay?
Anton Barr said, well, the Dolphins going home this week. Sorry to say it.
Yeah.
Joanne Smith Duncan said, let's go Dolphins.
That's right. That's right.
Y'all make sure when we go over to Tony Sands show.
Yes, go over to Tony
have
Sands.
Benny Blaze on. We played football.
We played football with
Benny
him.
Blaze back in the 70s. He was at Western. My dad and his dad was very close back in the days. So y'all go out and catch. Y'all go out and catch that interview over with Brian Blaze on Tony Get Sensational podcast.
Right. Yeah. Go over to Tony Get Sensational's podcast. If you don't know what it is, go over to his page. We're getting off our podcast to make sure we support Tony, because Tony and his wife Calandra, they always support us. Happy anniversary, Tony and Calandra Sands.
31 or 30 years.
Love y'all, man. You know, we talk a lot of football, but in real life, man, after football season, it's all love, man. It's all love. Janet Garner says, "Go Steelers." Okay, go Steelers. But
we're not all politics on.
We're not all politics. We talk about everything on here.
Right. And politics okay, but we love sports and other things too. So thanks for joining us
on this podcast here. So we just like Shay. We don't have our own wine yet, but we got all that coming here in 24. So y'all just keep on watching us. We're gonna do some big things here in 2024. I don't know what's wrong with our intro music and outro music
right now.
We don't hear the music. Let us know. Can you all hear the music? Because we've been having some trouble with it streaming through our device here. You might hear it through our microphone, but usually you can hear it when we're going off of the air. So anyways, we want to thank you all for joining us and watching our podcast. And it's raining outside, so Celestine Barnwell says, yes, we can hear it. Is it really loud, or you can just barely hear it? Let us know. If it's really loud, if you're still there with us, if it's really loud, let us know. If you can barely hear it, let us know. we're working on it. We don't know what happened. It was playing fine, and then all of a sudden something happened. We're trying to get it straightened out. Can you hear it, or can you barely hear it? Waiting on your response. Can't hear. Janet says you can't hear.
And everyone, let's all try to get along with each other, regardless
Right.
of what city or what state you're in. We can all, it's enough money here for all of us. Don't be jealous of the
Right,
next person.
right.
Let's all get along in this city and every other city.
Can we all just get along? Rodney King. Thank you all for watching the Adams Brothers podcast. Go, Miami Dolphins. And
No, we don't know about no aliens in Miami.
we don't know about aliens in Miami, K-Ron. We don't know about that, but we've been hearing a lot of stuff about, these conspiracy theories about aliens in Miami. Hope you're not talking about the Miami Dolphins, because we're going to win this weekend and everything. So again, thank you all for watching the Adams Brothers podcast. We got some good stuff coming up for you all here in 2024. And we want to thank you all for your support. Our Cash App is up. $ Adams Brothers podcast. We want to thank Pastor Demetric Ford over at Bethlehem Missionary Baptist Church. Man, thank you, man. Thank you.
Everyone else support us financially.
Supports us and walks up to us and hands us $5, $10, $15, $20 and send us and hit our Cash App, man. We love you. Thank you
Never gone.
so much. And we here for you. If you ever need us, we are just a phone call away. Thank you for watching the Adams Brothers podcast. We'll be back here maybe next week with some more good podcasting. Have a good evening.
Good evening, everyone. And go over to Tony Sands. Get sensational with Benny Blaze.